'Tis the season to do the brew.
I'm going to use Christmas carols. Headbangers Brew will make your day merry and bright.
Okay,
Headbangers Brew, it'll really deck your halls.
I'll deck your halls.
Headbangers Brew will really play your reindeer games.
You wish.
Headbangers Brew, it'll jingle your bells.
Jingle jangle.
Silent nights. Whoa.
Hi, this is Pastor Bob, and welcome to Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. I'm sitting at Starbucks. You can't get more of a coffee break than that, I guess, huh? And I want to answer a really important question today, and here it is. Dear Pastor Bob, what do you think is the biggest threat facing us in our society today? And I usually try to avoid being very political or opinionated or whatever. Today I'm going to let loose. Are you ready? So I think there are three things that I'm very concerned about. Three things that I think are definitely harming us on an international basis. Number one, politics, way out of bounds. Number two, media, which has gone from the place of actually reporting honestly to becoming a propaganda machine. And number three, pharmaceutical, pharmacy, medicine has become completely out of bounds and has become such a money machine that a lot of people are falling into that trap and becoming over-medicated, overstimulated, and taking a bunch of stuff where there are natural health alternatives. Yeah. So why do I pick these three things? Because they're probably the three most powerful things in our world today, and the three things that are very lucrative, and the three things that people grab for power in. Big deal. So politics. I don't get involved in talking about politics very often. Hope you can hear me okay. I'm sitting outside. And it just got very loud. There we go. I don't talk about politics very much, and that's not because I don't have opinions, but I'm an observer mostly. And I see where politics is really becoming a power thing in a lot of countries, where they're making decisions against the wishes of the people and making decisions based on conjecture instead of fact. And I think it's a problem. Number two is media. I think media, news reporting, has gone from honesty to actually trying to find the truth, to suppressing truth and becoming a propaganda machine. And in many countries, and including the United States, it's difficult to find the truth in media. You have to go from the most popular networks, the most popular news reporting institutions, and find things on the side. And some of the biggest news is silent. Well, things that are not even true are made up and pushed. And so it's been a problem, and it's a problem internationally. You can't find the truth there. It doesn't exist there, at least not in mainstream. And then the third one is pharmaceutical. I've gone through that in the last year. I've gone through a couple doctors because I couldn't work with them. And about a year and a half ago almost, I ended up in the hospital and found that I had three things. That I had a very enlarged prostate that had to come out. I had to have it removed. I found that I had extreme diabetes. I didn't know. I was vegan. I thought I was fine. And I didn't realize that a lot of things that I ate were diabetic nightmares. Ate too much bread, too many beans, too much fruit. All of those things mattered. And so my diabetes count was off the chart. And then I had cancer. There were parts of the prostate that were cancerous, besides being enlarged, and some connected to my body so that when I got the prostate out, it would still be there. And I went through all the worst diagnoses. I had a great guy that actually removed the prostate, and I enjoyed working with him. But everybody else gave me all the wrong advice, and I think I know just enough about the body and how it operates and all of that to make myself dangerous, which was the case. But I knew they were telling me opposite, the cancer probably can't be dealt with unless I go through some kind of radiation treatments and go through all of that. And then they said I'll always have to live with diabetes, and so they put me on insulin right away. Started taking the shots 2 or 3 times a day. I can't remember now. But I said, I believe that all these are pretty much nutritional problems, and I'm going to fight every one of them. And I did, and I won. I have no diabetes now. I completely went to the other side. I'm very careful with what I eat now. I'm very careful that I don't eat things on the high side of the glycemic index. I got rid of the cancer. Sugar feeds cancer, and so that did that too. And other health difficulties I've kind of managed on my own. But the advice that I got and the medicine they wanted to put me on and the list of side effects with everything was astounding. And now, there is all this information coming out about, vaccines and all kinds of things where it is so politically and monetarily motivated that the truth, the numbers aren't being reported. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And it seems like these days, if people disagree with the mainstream narrative, you're called a conspiracy theorist. Now, I'm just a seeker of truth. And I realize that the truth isn't being presented, that it's being suppressed in these 3 areas. So that's kind of a gloom and doom point of view, I understand. It is the things that I think are the biggest problems that we face. But can I just say that the motivation behind them is nothing new? Jesus says, in this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. I like that part. But more than that, folks, I don't have to succumb to anything around me. And even though the world becomes more and more woke, as we say, I don't have to. And even though our freedom in many areas is being taken away, my freedom will always be here. Paul said that even though he was in prison, he says, I'm running and jumping and praising the Lord. I'm free inside, and that makes me free indeed. It's a big deal. But that's where we are. That's where you are. And my freedom isn't found in the world systems. It isn't found in politics. It isn't found in an honest press that isn't involved with propaganda. And it's not found in pharmaceutical drugs. It's found only in Jesus Christ. And when my eyes are fixed on Him, when my eyes are on the prize, then I'm free, truly free. Well, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about this, especially in January. Yeah, we're going to hit it hard. And this is just a little bit of an advertisement for those times. But I want to lead us into freedom, even though there are things going on around us that I think we're about to have a lot of problems with. And I think there's a certain amount of resistance that we need to have. And I don't think we should just comply just because we feel like, somebody's telling us to do something. There is truth at the bottom, and the truth starts with Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ as Savior, and as we've been talking about, Lord. So anyway, that's what's coming up. I hope you were able to hear most of this. And thank you for joining me. Don't forget, folks, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.
Subscribe to our newsletter at sanctuaryinternational.com.